2020-2021 Championship season is about to be done and dusted, with the small matter of the playoffs to be decided over the next couple of days. And of course, Norwich and Watford are partying because they got themselves promoted. But what did I think all the way back at the start of the season? Did I see the Canaries and the Hornets going up? And who did I think will go down? We'll take a little look at that and more next. Video today. We're going to go all the way back to the start of the season to take a little look back at my initial predictions for the championships, who I thought would go up, who I thought would go down, and who I thought would end up in the playoffs. And we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button to get your bang out today with all things championship related, Blackburn Rovers related, world football related. We're going to do here on the One Rooski. That's right, boys and girls. We're going to go back and have a little gander at my picks. And I'll tell you what, I've already had a sneak peek at them just to kind of remind myself on the cusp a little bit. There were some shockers, but there were some okay, close to the money bad boys. We'll have a look at that in a minute, of course. A big shout out to the VIPs. They are the Patreons for support the channel. Also, make sure you check out the links in the description for, of course, we've got a brand new squeaky clean Discord that we're trying to get active over the summer with Euros, transfer stuff, all that kind of stuff. Maybe even predictions yourself. So here we go. I've actually loaded up the video, got myself right on the money. Now we're going to let him run through here at double. Look at him. He's a right handsome bastard, that guy right there. Look at him. It's me, of course, a year younger, I think, probably back then, with a little bit more hair. Or maybe I have more hair. Maybe I've grown some more hair. But anyways, behind me, and of course, he will be giving his picks that he made back all the way back in October, of course. And this blurb in the middle here, the blue, is the table that is, of course, the championship that we know and love right here, right now, how it ended all up, of course, with the Rovers all the way down towards the back end. Okay, so here we go, boys and girls. We're going to let the video play, and we're going to have to make it be quiet. You're already annoying me, video, so I just press play the once. So here he goes. He's doing his stuff. He's giving it the whatever he's doing over there. Unfortunately, it's just gonna make me look kind of weird, me sitting here. Maybe I should move myself over in the middle, but no, we're gonna roll with it. Of course, we're gonna do an early door prediction when, of course, we know who will be in the championship next season. That's, of course, once the playoffs have been sorted out. So maybe at the start of June we'll have an early door prediction, and then we'll come back again at maybe a week or so before the start of the season to see after any transfers, the managerial merry-go-round, all that kind of stuff, and of course any points deductions that any club that may be in the championship or in League Ones or League Two that might get deducted for any shady business. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but we'll bear that in mind. So kicking it all off, I did start with Birmingham. I believe I hopefully got this one right. Yes, Birmingham actually finished in 18th right now, and I got them sitting in 13th. So they did have a pretty bad season. It was a late call to get rid of Karanka to, of course, try and restore their season. I think Karanka is always a decent little appointment. He's had okay sort of tenures with Middlesbrough and who was it? Forest, of course, getting on the cusps of promotion. I think he got promoted with Middlesbrough. So yeah, he was brought in with much anticipation, but it never really worked out for him really. And then they brought in at the end of the season, back end of the season, they brought in Lee Bowie, of course, ex Birmingham player. Of course, it's got the fans excited, and they got the results in the end. So looking forward to maybe a good season for them next time around. Into 14th, I had Bristol City. Of course, they also changed their manager again, maybe too little, too late. They brought in Tinsdale, something like that at the start of the season. I never really it wasn't him. It was somebody else. It was Holden, some Holden guy. I never really believed in that either. So it wasn't really a wrong one point. Again, they brought in an experienced man at the end of the season, Nigel Pearson, to come in for a 3-year deal now. And to be honest with you, I'm not convinced about that either. The results never really turned around. It's going to be a massive summer to see what he does recruitment wise, not only with the players but also with the staff as well. So I will see how they pan out. So I had them in 14th. In the real world, they finished in 19th, of course. So maybe a bit of a rebuild perhaps for Bristol City this season under Pearson, who comes with a good fanfare. A lot of Blackburn Rovers fans were looking at him and potentially taking over Mowbray's reins, but it never really worked out. It's a 50th there, QPR. I've never really been the big fan of QPR under Warburton, but he's done a fantastic job this season, finishing in 9th. And again, if the season was maybe a month longer, they would be in those playoffs as well, because they had the goals. They were a very attacking sort of team, and to be fair, I'm eating my words a little bit about Warburton. I actually eat my words about a lot of managers these days, but I'm also pretty right on some other managers as well. So QPR finishing in 9th. I had them down as low as 15th. And it's going to be an interesting summer. Of course, they're losing Charlie Austin. Of course, he was here on loan, and I don't think he's expressed any interest of re-signing for QPR on loan. So we'll see what happens with him. And of course, Ilias Chair been grabbing the attention. So yeah, a lot of players maybe on the move as well. Next up, I have Millwall all the way down to 16th. Another tremendous season for them under Gary Rowett, finishing up as high as 11th. 62 points on the job, not bad. Again, anything going up in this championship, I do see them punching above their weight. But this system that they got going on right now with Rowett in the helm, it looks like they're working a treat. Again, any top half finishes, they're doing everything right. At 17th place, Huddersfield actually finished in 20th, so they actually finished worse than I expected. Huddersfield did have some good stats, of course, with a lot of pass success rate, maybe even a bit of possession as well. But it never really clicked into gear for them, and I think they lacked a true striker, which of course rumour has it Jordan Rhodes could be on his way back over the summer. So to Huddersfield, so that'll be interesting to see if he can correct any shooting issues they have. But yeah, I did see them struggling at the start of the season, but not as bad as this. I also saw Reading all the way down to 18th. I didn't believe in their new manager, but of course he had a tremendous season. However, I don't think it's going to be a repeat next season. I think they're going to sit and have another season of difficulty, maybe more realistic, like a 12th or 14th next season. I don't know yet. We'll see how, of course, they strengthen. Of course, they could likely. I think they're going to lose a couple of the young guns as well, who burst on the scene. So yeah, I had them finishing down to 18th, but of course they finished respectable and unfortunate though 7th. Into 19th, I had Barnsley, of course. Surprise package of the season, surprise package of the EFL. Everybody's tipped to struggle. I did actually have them surviving on their old management, but of course their change of manager was of course a stroke of genius, and of course he's managed to turn them into not only winning machines but a nice little unit, good on the eye as well. So Barnsley, of course, looking very, very good right here, right now. Of course, then we had 20th place at Rotherham. They actually finished in 23rd. I had them just about surviving. Because they're a bit of a yo-yo team, I thought they would have it. I actually did see a couple of teams worse off than them. But 23rd was Marpick, but they finished in 20th. It's going to be difficult for them to get themselves back out of it next season. In the 21st spot, I had Coventry, but they actually finished in respectable 16th spot as well. Robin's done a fantastic job this season. Of course, next season they go back to the Rico. So Coventry City can hopefully build on from that. But it's going to be another... There's a lot of teams down here, the likes of Bristol City, Huddersfield and Coventry, that could struggle next season. So we'll see how they adapt to another season. Next, about 22nd place, I did have Sheffield Wednesday, of course, finished in rock bottom. They did have the points deduction. They was halved, of course, but there was one stage that they were out and home and hosed or out of it. The relegations are on the final day, but unfortunately they couldn't get over the line. But I'm sure they'll be back. They'll come back bigger and stronger. Of course, they're a decent established club, and hopefully their owners do the right thing and back the manager and see how Darren Moore copes next season out in League One. Of course, he was doing fantastic job for Doncaster then. But yeah, into 23rd, I did have Luton, who had an amazing season when you think about Luton. Into 12th right now. Again, Millwall and Luton punching above their weight, to be fair. I think they were more like an 18th or a 17th place club, but the managers that have got the work ethic, getting them working in the right direction. Of course, a team mentality, no real superstar standouts as well. So yeah, fair play to them. Of course, if they can keep on doing it, they might be able to get a little bit lucky and get into make that next push into those top 10 and maybe even into closer to the playoffs, of course. So 23rd place, Luton Town was Marpick. They finished a respectable 12th. Who did I have rock bottom? Of course, I think anybody's guess it was Wycombe Wanderers, who did actually finish very, very close to get themselves out of it. Of course, just the goal difference, I think, sending them down, finishing 26th. It was fair play, good graft at the end there by Wycombe Wanderers players, and of course Gareth Ainsworth has done himself no harm, and his stock must be ridiculously high. Of course, once linked with Preston, that job's now gone, so I think he may stick around because Mowbray, the Rovers job was another one that he could be linked with, but I think Mowbray's going nowhere, so he won't get that job. So into the top half we go. Who do we see then? I did have 12th place. I had Derby, who just finished on the skin of their teeth in the 21st spot. Of course, yeah, I did go with that pick with Koku in charge. I thought it'd be an okay season for them, but when Koku went, I did see. I didn't really believe in the Rooney, and I think next season, if Rooney's still there, I don't think it's going to be a season of joy for them. I think you can see it be another season of struggle. No disrespect to Rooney, I just don't think. I think he should be starting lower down the pecking order, but we'll see if he can get it turned around next time around. So in 11th place, I had Cardiff. They finished at 8th. So yeah, pretty close to the money on that. Yeah, Mick McCarthy coming in, and again, I didn't believe in Mick McCarthy when he came in. I thought, he's past it now, but he got the results in, and of course they were very, very close to getting into those illustrious top 6. But maybe next season, of course, he'll get another crack at it. Into 10th, I had a Stoke. Of course, boring Stoke, not really good on the eye, really. They finished all the way down to 14th, kind of pretty much. I think with Michael O'Neill, it's going to be more the same next season. Mid-table obscurity, good to beat, can beat anybody on their day, but also could get turned over quite easily by anybody on their day as well. So 10th place was my pick for Stoke. They actually finished down at 14th. So yes, into 9th they had Preston. They actually finished in 13th. Again, change of manager, Alex Neil, left at back end of the season. They brought in Frank McAvoy on a caretaker basis. I think he's now signed, sealed and delivered. Will be the manager next season. They did respond to him towards the end. And fair play to the lads for sticking to it. And yeah, hopefully they can have a good season next season. So mid-table, yeah, next season. For this season, I think they might get a little bit better next season, depending on who they bring in. Of course, a big change up over at PNE over at Deepdale. Of course, so 9th place I had Preston. Into 8th, I actually had Bournemouth, who did finish just in the playoffs, again, in 6th spot. I didn't really believe in their appointment. Of course, Howe left at the end of last season in the Premier League season. They brought in Tyndale, or whatever his name is, and I didn't really believe in it. I thought they needed a more experienced manager, of someone that like a Warnock or somebody like that who knows how to do it with the resources as well. And that failed. They brought in Woodgate, and somehow, somewhere, he managed to get the results in and get them into the top 6. So fair play to that. I don't know if they're going to get promoted. We'll see about that, how that pans out. But if it does, it'll be the 3 teams that went down. They'll go straight back up. So we'll see about that. Into 7th, I did go crazy and went with Blackburn Rovers. That's right, who finished woeful 15th. They were flashes to deceive. Of course, some high-scoring games, some games that look really good, some other games that look absolutely awful. So something's wrong in the mix, whether it's the heartbeat of the club, whether it's the management, whether it's the tactics, I don't know. Something needs to be addressed. And if we can keep Adam Armstrong, then we've got the goals to compete against next season. But this season, when you expect top 6, top 8, top 10, and you end at 15th, that's nothing but a failure in my eyes. So no good. Painting over the cracks on that one. 50 place Rovers. Poor. So into the top 6 we go now. Of course, who did I pick for top 6? I'm trying to remember my brain. I do know a couple of them off the top of my head, but we'll see in a minute once I stop talking about Blackburn. But yeah, it'll be interesting. Some Adam Armstrong's been linked already to leave the club, so if we can get some good money in, maybe we can invest. But I'm worried about what kind of money we'll get for Adam Armstrong if we do sell him. He is into his final season. If we can get him signed up for another year, then or a couple of seasons, and then extend the contract, then we'll see. Into 6th place, I had Watford. They actually went up automatically. In 2nd again, the managerial change around with those guys managed to save their season. They were heading towards playoffs, if not out of the playoffs, with their first manager. I can't remember his name, but so Muniz came in and done a fantastic job, got them into top 2, and they're back at the first attempt. So we'll see how they fare next season in the Prem de la Prem. Into the 5th spot now. Who did I have there? Probably is Swansea City. That's right. Actually finished in a respectable 4th. Who the heck is this down 17th? So yeah, Swansea back once again, forever the bridesmaid. Will they be the bride this time around? Get themselves promoted via the playoffs. Got the hard work to do, taking on Barnsley though in the first legs of the playoffs. Of course, Cooper's got no real standout superstars, but they've got team effort as well, which is the key. It seems to be the key for a lot of these teams. Then we had into 4th, we had Middlesbrough. Yeah, what was I calling? I thought the Warnock appointment was a stroke of genius. It looked like it was a stroke of genius because they were floating around about 7th for the good part of the season, but ultimately ending up in 10th. So bad call on that regard. So into the final 3, 17th place, I know who it is now. Yeah, it is. It's going to be Nottingham Forest. I'll bring that up here right now. Of course, start the season with Lamucci in charge. Of course, they fell out of the old playoffs last season. I thought Lamucci would, of course, get his act together and, of course, rectify the odds this season. But no, it was a season of a nightmare start. Then they brought in Chris Hughton. Never really got themselves going. So a full season of Chris Hughton next season, maybe. That's the tonic to get Nottingham Forest moving towards that top 6 once again. I don't know, though. It might be a bridge too far. Into the top 2, though, and into the top 2 I have a good response there. In 2nd, I had Norwich City, of course, who did finish top and champions, and they're back at the Premier League at the first attempt at joining them. And of course, into top billings was, of course, Brentford, who are in 3rd and still have a shot to make it at the playoffs again. Of course, they were there last time around, but unfortunately they fluffed their lines. But yeah, Norwich and Watford go back. Brentford, Swansea, Barnsley, and Bournemouth will have to duke it out in the playoffs, and of course they will kick off early next week. So let me know your picks in the comment section, who you think will go through to the Premier League and join Norwich and Watford. To be fair, when I look look at this. I did okay. It's a bit haphazard. I got one of the old relegation teams in there. Actually got two of the relegation teams in there, so that's not too bad. As for the top two, I got one of them, and I got Brentford, which was very, very close. Of course, I did have Swansea and Watford in the playoffs as well, so yeah, it's not too bad. The Blackburn Rovers thing, you can write that off. The Stoke and all that kind of stuff, pretty okay. But yeah, some bad bits, but also not too shabby as well. That's it, my friends. Of course, what do you think? Of course, we're going to do an early door pick for the Championship once, of course, we know who are the 24 teams will be there next season. So stand by for that, and of course, we'll have another crack at the whip when, of course, the season is about to start. But anyway, until then, be sure to give the video some love, smash your thumbs up, smash your subscribe, check out the links down below on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and of course Patreon. If you want to support channel in another way, it's the best place to do it. We're trying to get up to 22,000, of course, over the next few weeks. It's a big old ask. Of course, the summer's about to get started with a big old Euro 2020, so hopefully we can get closer to those numbers. Also, check out the Discord. That's free to open. Get in there and, of course, start chatting about this season, next season, the summer, and, of course, transfers as well. So get in amongst it. Until then, though, I'll see you soon for the next